I don't know if you can tell, but I love making videos. I've been doing it since I was 13 years old. I love thinking of ideas, planning the video. I love expressing myself, talking like this on camera. Now, that's not to say I love every part of the process. Editing, not so much. Some of the post-production and production process stuff, creating assets, overlays, that kind of thing. Not so much. And so the promise of AI tools that they can help make good videos has always been very exciting for me. The downside being, I haven't really seen that many great tools that can actually create a video that is good, you know? That's the challenge. Creating overlays, assets, producing, let's say it like that, producing the video. I want to do what I'm good at, the planning part, the thinking of ideas part, and the talking part. I want to do that as part of a broader process. Well, as I was thinking about all this, Mootion reached out to me. Now, this is essentially an AI producer, and it allows a lot of creative control. So I said to them, hey, listen, okay, you want to sponsor a video? Sounds good. But I don't want to do it like, hey, this is a video about Mootion. Now let me introduce the features. I don't really want to do that because I wouldn't watch that video, and I don't think you would watch that video either. It would be just an ad. So I said, hey, listen, why don't I check it out, honestly, like I check out all the other things I do on my channel, and also do something that I actually need to do, which is explain, right, the 90-day program that I'm always talking about. I need to put out basically content that gets the idea across. So I thought, what if I could make that video with Mootion? And it's actually good, and I can actually use it. Wouldn't that be cool? Wouldn't that be the ultimate way to sponsor a video? They said, yeah. So I said, hey, cool, let's do it. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to make a video right here, right now. And nothing is done. We're going to do it from scratch. So that'll be the ultimate test. The idea here is that you can create, well, as you can see, you can create general content using AI voices that they have, right? Videos, Instagram style videos, the vertical ones, right? Faceless YouTube videos, all kinds of different content, especially video content using AI, including creating the visual assets, including voiceover if needed, writing scripts if needed. That's kind of cool because it's like a producer. A producer's got the whole picture in mind, and whatever you bring to the table, it kind of works around that, right? For example, if I don't want to do the voiceover, I do actually, but if I don't, then I can have Mootion do the voiceover. I want to try recording to video. So let's try this. You have kind of a lot of control. So I can choose the aspect ratio. Let's go 16:9. I can choose an art style. Oh, and by the way, it does animate it too. So it's not just static. So that's pretty cool. I want to use I like this clay art style. I think that's really cool. And I'm just going to record here. I'm going to record audio, and it's going to then take that and turn it into a video. So let's see what happens. So many English learners have the same problem. All right, so there's my transcription, and there's the whole thing that I said. Very nice. Okay, so then we just go to generate. Here we have a bunch of different scenes in the style that I asked for, right? With different parts of the transcript. Okay, this is pretty cool. Okay, let's click on, okay, here's what I could do. If I want, I could replace any of these. So let's just say, what's this one? Let's see. Let's see. No, I kind of like that. Bookshelves in the sand. That's kind of cool. But you know what? I like to, no, let's see. Okay, this is a little generic. So, oh, I can upload from an asset. Let's just regenerate that then. Let's see, a solitary, oh, I get to edit the prompt. Okay. A solid weathered path representing the journey of learning. Let's just do a road leading up to a sharp cliff with someone standing just at the edge. Okay. I like that. I like that. I like that. I like that. Okay, that's a bit better. No, I'm going to go no overlays, and then for subtitles, I will choose this style. Thumbnail, let's skip the thumbnail, and objects. Ooh. Yeah, let's do Ken Burns. I like Ken Burns' zooms. Composition, generating voiceover. Very nice. I like how it's very clear about when it's going to be completed. I like how customizable it is as well. A lot of things you can play with. That's pretty cool. Okay, here we go. Let's click play. So many English learners have the same problem, especially once they get to the intermediate level. They've worked on their grammar. They've worked on learning new vocabulary, idioms, phrases. But at some point, they start to feel stuck, that they're not making real. Okay, what we need to do is animate each one. Okay, let's do animation. Okay, I'm just going to leave it and let it animate as it goes. So if you just leave it and you don't animate each one, then it's going to do a kind of zoom. So you have a lot of control here. I'm going to animate all of them so we can get a sense of movement. And it's cool that you can choose, okay, I want this one static or I want this one animated. It's a lot of fine control over this, actually. That's pretty interesting. Now, it's also interesting that you can replace. So if you could put your own image here, right? If I had a picture that I wanted to animate, or I created a series of pictures on my own, and I wanted those to be animated, then I could do that. Just for the sake of experimentation, let's do that with this image here. I have an image that I created recently. Here we go. This is an AI-generated image, okay? And I'm just going to make this. I know it's not really useful for the video, but we're going to keep iterating on that. But I'm gonna replace that image with this one, and then I'm gonna click animate. And I just want to see, what that is like, because if that actually works, and you can have full control over all of the images and the animation, then you have a really powerful producing tool in your hands, right? Which is pretty incredible. All right. Okay. So now we go scene 10. All right, here we go. Okay, we've got scene 2. Oh, that's pretty clean. That's pretty clean. Whoa. That's quite good. That is better than I expected it to be. If you use a lot of the tools out there for AI videos, they just look weird. That animation is pretty good. This is getting serious. This is not a toy. Hey. Whoa, that picture I uploaded, that's little shaky there. I might regen that. But that looks good, right? That you could grab that, a little movement. You could fix that little jitteriness. Wow, okay. All right. This is more serious than I realized. I thought I was going to be doing a kind of one-click and, okay, it gives me an interesting video from my recording. This now I'm realizing is much more customizable. You can really fine-tune it. And so I need to spend more time taking this tool seriously. Like if you just get in Photoshop, you have to learn. There's a learning curve. I want to see if I can make a really legitimately great video I'm gonna stick with my same audio, and I'm gonna follow the basic scene order, I think, but I'm gonna spend some time working on very specific images that I want to use and prompting how I animate them. So cut to me tomorrow, and we'll look at not just the results, but how we got there. All right? All right. So I'll see you tomorrow. All right, here we are. The next day. I have really been working with this tool, and I have to say, the more I use it, the more I realize that there are so many possibilities. You can kind of choose how you want to do things. So, as I was showing you, you can create the images and then in the platform and then animate them. Or if you have your own images, you can animate those too, and that actually looks really good. So I was actually trying to upload images. I wanted to see how well they would animate. Now I'm still using the same voiceover, so we'll see how it looks at the end, but I wanted to go with this claymation style. And so it's one thing I noticed is, the quality of the animation kind of depends on the quality of the image that you create, and that makes the possibilities kind of endless, and that's a really cool thing. So I really like this kind of getting stuck, he looks a little depressed, Wallace and Gromit style animation. So the cool thing is you can go through previous versions. You can see, okay, here's one that's generated, and then here's one I uploaded. Here's the image. You're choosing the kind of end versions that you really like. I went through a few of these, and I really like this one. I think the little motion in the background. It's kind of fun. There are little things here and there that sort of, I don't know if that makes perfect sense. But what I realized, if you just iterate a couple times, that's the thing. You can get to what you actually want. And in this case, a few things moving on the background adds a little bit of motion. I actually like that. Now this one I really like. I like the expression on his face. Again, the still images that you're seeing, these are exactly the images that I decided to upload. Now, one thing I realized halfway through that I kind of goofed up, again, this is on me. Some of these images, the little guy has eyebrows, and some of them he doesn't. So I think I'm going to use this video, and I'm okay with the eyebrow thing. I think it's fine. Again, it's because I didn't notice it when I was creating the images. I made a few adjustments, and then I uploaded them. So pretty crazy. Here's one, the do versus no. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let's see. I like this one, kind of a slow zoom in, talking about practicing, habits, changing things. I think that's a good way to represent it. Here's a slightly, I'll admit, overly glossy version of me explaining something. I'm never that enthusiastic. I'm never that excited about anything. Here is, so this one I decided to change. So I kind of like this because it shows that, in the program you are watching a lot of lessons with me and hopefully speaking along, especially for the pronunciation one. But I did have another version where it was more about the clicking buttons. So here's one with buttons. And, I like this one. The animation quality is honestly quite incredible. And the cool thing is it's so easy. You just regenerate or replace the image, upload the image, you can edit the image. It is so much flexibility, And then here we have talking about practicing. I think that's a good way to show it, both learning and doing, right? Taking notes, writing down examples. That's great. This is a new one. I actually haven't checked this one yet. I was just working on this one. So I want to get the idea across of feedback, and I kind of want to communicate that it's AI feedback. So Kathy is the name for my AI assistant who checks all of the assignments and you have conversations with. So I think this is pretty good. You can kind of tell she's not human, but kind of looks human and is pretty friendly. She is pretty friendly, and the thumbs up, thumbs down kind of gives you the feeling of, okay, this is feedback. And then this is the part about the refund that's available. I love this one because it's sort of like, oh, ooh, ooh. That's pretty cool. And then this one took a few versions. Oh, I wanted to show a crazy one of this. I almost used it because I think it's so funny. In the previous version of this one, no, it's not this one. It's this one. Okay. Watch the thumbs. Ready? Watch the thumbs. Watch the thumbs. Watch the thumbs. Watch the thumbs. Oh, they're starting to become human. It starts to get a little creepy. That's pretty funny. They become human, regular human thumbs instead of claymation thumbs. I honestly almost kept that one in because I just thought, I wonder if people will notice that. But anyway, the last one is kind of a critical one because, so I did quite a few versions of this one. Again, it's so, honestly, the process is so fun because it's like create, push, regenerate, try, I like this, change this. Now, there were a couple of times where I found giving instructions on the animation was actually not as good as just leaving it blank and leaving it up to the AI to figure out how to animate it. Most of these, I got the best results, like this one, for example. If I were able to open the animation prompt, it would be blank. That's a great way to animate it. So it's kind of good at deciding how to animate. And sometimes I noticed if you say how to animate it, then it can mess up because maybe you don't know as well how it should be animated. Now, you can also keep it very simple. For this one, I wanted to, because he was just at the end, this is kind of, you're continuing your journey, but you've made real progress toward fluency. And he was kind of just turning, and he looked whimsical, but a little, I don't know, stiff. So in the animate prompt, I just wrote one word, happy. And I got some really great results. Now, I'll show you a couple different ones. Well, this is the one where he kind of just looked like not very happy. And this one I like, except if you look carefully at he's got eyebrows again. This is now sort of Pixar style 3D animation and looks not so much like claymation. I do like it, right? But it's just not quite the right animation style. So this one I like. Yeah, let me see the next one. The next one is good too. I forget which one I decided on. This one's good too. Which one should I go with? This one, he starts walking the other direction. I guess for that one, it would make sense thematically if he keeps walking forward instead of walking backward, right? And this one, he's happy. I'm not crazy about the teeth on that one. So I go with, I think this is the one I want. Yep, he's happy. He continues walking. He's like, "This is good." Pretty claymation-y. I think I'm okay with this one. I like his facial expression. All right, so now we're pretty happy with these. I want to click on next. Okay, now here I'm gonna just go none, no subtitles, no scene effects, no transitions. I mean, all this stuff is great. Music. Let's see. That's all good, but I'm gonna go none just because. Okay, so here is a thing that I did, which I need to. Again, I'm learning this tool as I'm using it. I need to make sure that my animation length matches my voiceover. So once it reaches the end of the animation, that should be the end of that part of my voiceover. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate this video with these animations together and then put over a shorter voiceover. And then I think I'll have a really cool video. So that's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to work. We'll see. I might have to do a little bit of post editing. I'm not sure. But one thing you can do is once you generate these, you can export them directly to YouTube if you want to. I like to have, let's say, a final edit. I'm a little neurotic. I need a final edit in my editing program. So I think I'm gonna take the animations that I created, which is again a really fun process. I'm gonna pop it into my editing program, and I might just because I didn't plan the animations to match exactly the length of my voiceover. So I need the voiceover to be shorter. It's too long anyway. I'm gonna trim it up a bit, and then I think we'll have a really cool product. So I'm going to do that, and we'll see how it looks. All right, the finished product. It is 2 minutes long. Now, what I did was basically take my original recording and cut down the spaces. When I was talking in my original recording, I was just speaking off the top of my head. This recording is just off the top of my head. No script. Seriously. And so there were a lot of long pauses. And so it didn't quite match. There were places where the animation didn't go to the end of what I was saying for that scene. Now, that's kind of a me problem. If I were doing this again, and I'm very excited to, because now I feel like I'm getting the feel for how creative and playful this tool is. I'm going to be creating another one, and I'm very excited to do it. You need to understand what you're doing from the beginning. My goal here is to match animation to this audio narration, or my goal is to create this animation or this visual or whatever I want to create and add the voiceover later on top of it, right? So I think if I were doing it again, I would create the animation maybe first, or just create a rough script to get the timings right, then maybe add the voiceover later. I don't know. I'd play around with it. But the point is, it's really fun, and it's very easy to use. And if you want to try it, you can click on the link in the description, try it out for yourself. Play around. I want to emphasize, it is very playful. That's the key thing. It is a very playful experience. It's a lot of fun. All right, here we go. Here we go, Z's. So many English learners have the same problem. They've worked on their grammar. They've worked on learning new vocabulary, idioms, phrases. But at some point, they might say to themselves, I'm still working on my vocabulary, I'm still studying, I'm doing the same things. Why aren't I getting better anymore? I used to get better. I used to improve. This is such a common issue. And there's a very simple reason for this problem, which I call the last mile problem. The things that used to work will not take you to where you need to go next. But often, English learners think of English learning as a thing to learn, like knowledge in school, a subject, rather than a skill to master. In order to improve a skill, you need to break old habits, build new habits, change how you study, break through that barrier that's keeping you from improving. That is the core idea behind the 90-day program. Essentially, input plus output equals fluency. You do need to learn new things. With over 50 hours of video lessons taught by me, that's what you get. Grammar, sentence structure, phrases, everything that you need. But then it doesn't stop there. You have to practice what you learn. That means assignments. That means practicing speaking, using what you learn. That's input plus output. Then you get feedback from custom AIs, where you need to improve, what you need to work on more, what you need to work on less, always just at the edge of your comfort zone, always being challenged. You also have my WhatsApp throughout the program, and I'm there to support you and hold you accountable throughout the program. If you're not happy with your results at the end, you can get a full money-back refund. It's all about input plus output plus feedback. That's the only way to achieve English fluency. I feel like it's really good. I will be using this video. I'm going to make another one too. I have ideas. This is the cool thing is when you're using it, it's so playful and iterative. It encourages you to sort of go, oh, regenerate, try this, do this, play. The playfulness and the button clickiness of just kind of, you feel like you're goofing around, but then you get to a finished product like this. And again, yeah, I did clip it down a little bit, but I think that's just because I was learning the tool for the first time. And now thinking about how I'm going to do the next one, I have some ideas about how I can basically do the whole thing inside of Mootion. So, I mean, isn't it, creating an animation with an impromptu voiceover that fast? That it's crazy that this is possible to be. And also, if you're here, I haven't tricked you into watching 2 sponsored things, one for the 90-day program and one for Mootion. I don't know if I've tricked you, but I just thought, they came to me and I said, hey, listen, I just don't want to do a video where I just go, here's this feature. I just feel it's not authentic. Creators, we like to work with sponsors, but it shouldn't feel, I think, yucky or inauthentic, and it has to be real, right? So I said, hey, what if I actually create something that I actually need, which is new material video to get the message out about the 90-day program? And they said, yeah, which I also think is very cool. So they're very cool about me just being creative with it, and I thought that was very cool. So anyway, sincerely, check out Mootion. Links in the description. If you want, you can also check out the 90-day program, but you already know that. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think and what you create. Feel free to share whatever you do create in the comments. Again, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.